One second. Big ball. We ready, we ready, we ready. Need everybody involved. We ready, we ready, we ready. Someday I smile like Mickey. Everybody united around my city. Mercedes Benz sound real pretty. Come stop for me and I'm ready.
Joe, one of my favorite songs recently. Let's go straight into it. ATLiens United podcast. I'm Blake. This is Joe. Joe.
ATL Joe.
Yeah, it's ATL Joe. That's my fault. And Joe, we have a little bit of a situation. I don't know. I just saw someone dart out of the room not 10 minutes ago. What happened to our webcams? Like,
we don't
where are
have
our
any cameras. It's ridiculous. The dude had Mickey Mouse ears. I don't know what to say. I'm really upset right now. I'm trying to hold it together.
It looked like a purple jersey. It definitely was purple. It was clearly an MLS jersey. And do you know any teams that are purple?
Yeah, Orlando.
Oh, you said Mickey Mouse ears as well?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have a pretty good suspect at this point.
I think we've been hacked.
Of who took our cameras. Do you think we could draw an amateur sketch of who took our cameras?
Yeah, if I described it, I would say had two big circular ears.
Circular ears, okay.
Beady eyes with a nose.
Okay.
Almost mouse looking. Kind of roundish head, really round.
Mm-hmm. Circular.
Yeah.
So
and purple.
So you're pretty much describing
very purple.
A purple Mickey Mouse as is the main suspect for where our cameras are this week.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sad and confused.
Yeah. Well, to our listeners, we're sorry that we don't have video this week for you. But this is obviously a situation that's completely out of our control. Right now, our main suspect is Mickey Mouse, wearing a purple MLS jersey. I don't know. I didn't even know Mickey Mouse had a preferred MLS team. But yeah, he's on the run with our cameras. Hopefully we can get them back by next week. Hopefully he does not hold them ransom. Once again, I'm Blake, joined by ATL Joe, who I mistakenly called Joe to start the show. This is ATLiens United. This is our podcast. We're on episode 9. And our cameras have been stolen. So Joe and I are audio only for this week, releasing at our new start day, Friday, because everyone loves Fridays. I mean, you love Fridays, right, Joe?
I love Fridays.
Fridays is a great time to get caught up on the week,
it's
and
like
also
the best day.
It's also a great time to get caught up on the news.
Breaking news. We got a lot of news this week, starting with the best news. Atlanta United wins 1-0 in the frozen tundra of Minnesota. Got that great 1-0 win. Michael Parkhurst gets named a team of the week.
Parky.
We got save of the month goes to he's big. He's tall.
He's a mother
of a wall. That works, right?
I think so. Braguzan. Braguzan.
And did you see Zlatan Ibrahimovic with that amazing goal? Zlatan is back in the MLS.
I did. Did you see his quote after the game? He said the fans were chanting, "We want Zlatan," and I gave them Zlatan. You can't sum it up better than that. 2 goals, come back from 3-0 down to win 4-3 in his first game in the MLS. This guy is going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing him go against Joseph Martinez. That'll be 2 very passionate strikers.
That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be a fun game.
Chris McCann was named our player of the game.
Yeah. I did not see that one coming.
You know, and best news of the week this week, Sports Week. This is the best week in all of sports. You finished up with the NCAA tournament. You had the championship. Villanova go ahead and get another ring.
Yeah.
You've got the best tournament in all of golf, the Masters,
A tradition unlike any other.
with birds in the background.
Trip, 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 trip.
You've got the Champions League, UEFA Champions League. You got Final 8. Liverpool got their win. Bayern Munich got their win. Barcelona. It's going to be good. You also got CONCACAF Champions League. Did you see Toronto FC wins 3-1 at Club America, first leg? They've got a chance to go on and do like no other MLS team has done and made it to the finals. And then
That'd be great for the league. That'd be fantastic for the league.
yeah,
I mean, I was much more concerned with the fact that Liverpool is up 3-0 after the first leg, and they got that new song, that Ale, Ale, Ale. Yeah, and it's a great song. Anyways, I know not all our listeners are Liverpool fans, but
No.
that was a fantastic showing at Anfield. That was really my only news. But I'm excited about MLS's progress in CONCACAF Champions League. Hopefully we get in there very, very soon.
well, we got a chance to have an all MLS final. Even though New York Red Bull didn't help themselves, they're down 1-0 to Guadalajara. So next week they got to make a good comeback and try to get themselves in the final, pitted against Toronto, and then it's a guaranteed MLS champion. But that about sums up my news.
I know we got a few other things, Joe. I just want to hit on really quick. I know we got a spring festival on Ponce. It's a big thing for a lot of locals. I know there's an art festival out there. If you guys are around this weekend, get out, check it out. It's going to be awesome. Should be great weather this weekend. Obviously, make time for the Atlanta United game at 5 on Saturday. But other than that, get out there, check out the festival. I guess it's time that I just go ahead and let us know what really is on all our minds is what's the injury report.
Injury report. Injury report.
So the latest on Barco is that he's not going to come back to training until next week. That's what Tata said on Thursday. And that's kind of what we're going off of, is that Barco's not going to be ready this week. I think that they're just being extremely cautious with Barco. And if we rush him back and risk, a chance of furthering this injury, that's just something that at this point in the season, it's not worth the risk. We've gotten 3 wins out of 4. We're going into a home game. Yeah, we're going up against really dangerous competition, but the danger from their team is really on the attacking side. We'll get into that more later. I just don't think Barco's a good risk this game. Greg Garza, he's going to have some shoulder problems moving forward. He's the next guy up on the injury report. He was quoted saying it's the same thing that happened to him in the All-Star game when he initially hurt that shoulder.
Against Real.
He's even been quoted saying, I'm going to have to get it operated on at some time.
Oh, no.
I just don't want to get it operated on now. So basically it's something, it's a shoulder, so it's not an essential piece to a soccer player's, I guess, physique. But at the same time, this is something he's going to have to get fixed. It's probably a torn labrum. Some guys can pop their shoulder in and out all the time. Like, I used to play with weirdos in high school. I had a guy, he could dislocate his knee and pop it back in, play baseball with him. So, you never know.
Or like the golfer that Finau dislocated his shoulder or ankle.
Yeah.
Popped it back in, and now he's winning the Masters.
Exactly.
He was a couple shots behind.
Exactly. So, again, this is something he feels like he can play through.
Okay.
But he's still questionable for this week.
He's a warrior.
It's not going to affect his fitness. It's definitely not going to affect his running ability. But at the same time, your upper body is still very crucial. And for his balance and moving forward, we're going to see what happens with Garza.
Probably won't see him taking a throw in.
Probably not taking a throw in. He's definitely questionable. Our next defender on the injury watch, Pablo Escobar, he is still not cleared that concussion protocol. And, I'm worried about how severe this concussion was, because how long ago, that was, St. Patty's Day that he got knocked out? And we're sitting here, almost 2 weeks later, and still hasn't cleared protocol. So a little bit worrisome as to the severity of that concussion for Escobar.
Pablo Escobar, as you call him?
Well, no, I got that wrong. It's just like that's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching a lot of what's that show on Netflix? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Narcos.
I've been like binging on Narcos recently.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Franco. I didn't mean to call you Pablo.
I had to call you out on that one.
Maybe I'm concussed. Maybe he's passed his concussion on to me. So I apologize, Franco.
I hope so.
Maybe he thinks he's Pablo, in his dazed state. LGP is not hurt, but he's out because he got that stupid red card.
I've got a theory on that, Blake.
Let's hear it.
LGP last year I went to the PGA Championship, which is held here in Atlanta at Eastlake.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I saw LGP. He was walking around the course, enjoying his time, loving golf. I didn't know how big of a golf fan he was. And this week is the Masters. I think he purposely got the red card so he could go watch the Masters in person. I guarantee you, someone's going to catch him on film, and they're going to screenshot their TV. They're going to send it to social media, and we're going to see LGP at the Masters. And Tata's not going to be happy.
If LGP's at the Masters, then this would be the longest con I've ever seen. Why would he risk? I mean, this is the best attacking team we've gone up against all year. Why would he risk that to go see a golf tournament that honestly nobody really cares about the Masters that much until Sunday?
Speak for yourself.
He could still have played in the game Saturday and made it to the Sunday Masters. Like, why would you risk it? If it was on Sunday, I think you might have a point.
I think
Saturday,
if you're a big golf fan, you want to watch all of the Masters, and now he's got some money and he's in the state that the Masters is in. He's going there. He'll be there tomorrow. So keep an eye out. I'm calling it here first.
I'm not going to call you out, but I got some breaking news on LGP as well. It looks like, based off of the internet and the power of the internet, LGP is actually at the dentist about 3 hours ago getting his gap fixed in his teeth. I'm not even kidding.
That's not true.
He has an Instagram story saying bye Aguarito, which
so
he's getting
braces.
I guess so. I don't know what he's doing, but he's at the dentist, so he's definitely not the Masters.
He probably talked to Barco about that. It was like, hey man, that's a cool thing you got in your mouth. What is that called?
Anyways, Joe, we're going to stay on the injury report, but since he's at the dentist, we'll just include LGP this week.
So Barco and LGP are going to be the Braces brothers.
Braces bros.
The Brace bros.
Larry, of course, Larry's back. He's back in training. He was hurt, but Larry's made of steel, red steel, and he's coming back this game. We're not worried about Larry. I'm looking to see him in the starting 11. So, Joe, I know you talked about the frozen tundra in Minnesota. Let's talk a tiny bit about that game. Let's get into, because there wasn't a whole lot of Atlanta United highlights, let's get into the recap from Minnesota and just what you saw. And can we build on this?
Well, what I saw was a gritty effort. It was a great win. Road wins are tough to come by in the MLS. That's a known fact. And we came out of it 1-0. Being a man down for more than a half.
Yeah, I mean, almost 3/4 of the game, we were down a man.
And you can tell the players were all freezing. That may be another reason why LGP wanted to go to their lockers early. But I love how going out there, you got a couple players in short sleeves. One or two guys had no gloves on. The rest of them did. And then I also heard a couple interviews after the show that all of them said it was the coldest game they've ever played.
It was cold out there. I mean, it would have been the coldest game I'd ever played in. I mean, what was the wind chill? The wind chill was right around 1 or 2 degrees is what someone was telling me. So it's like that. I mean, at that point, you just can't feel anything.
That's not fun.
Even if you're running around, you can't get the blood flowing fast enough to feel your face at 1 degree.
No. And, oh, man, we got the first goal. It was amazing to come in that. It's the only goal that you can score in that type of game, an own goal. It was a corner kick, WrestleMania throwing it in. You have Villalba heading it off the crossbar. The ball just takes a ping-pong bounce off of 5, 6, 7 players off the foot of a Minnesota United player into the goal. And then we go. There we go. We got our 1 goal. So now let's hold on to this.
Back-to-back own goals for own goal. Is he our 3rd leading scorer with 2?
The own goal guys?
No, own goal. Own goal,
his jersey.
He's the 3rd leading scorer for Atlanta United this year, I believe, based on what I looked up.
You got his jersey yet?
He's got 2. I think it would be a good jersey to get. I don't know what number own goal is.
Number 17.
I was going to put number 0, but own goal.
Negative 17.
Own goal now has 2 on the year for us. So we hope own goal keeps up his good form.
And then what do you think about LGP getting the 2 yellow cards? And I was watching the game with you. We were at Durr Beer Garden watching it with some Resurgence people. And LGP's first tackle, it was almost a breakaway opportunity, and he comes in wildly. You said it yourself. He's lucky he didn't get a red card on that offense alone.
Definitely yellow. It was what they would call a professional foul. He took the guy out. I mean, it was questionable if he was the last man. That was my question on the red card. It was very close to being the last man foul and him being automatically sent off.
And then not too much longer later, closer to the end of the half, after he already been fouled and warned again by the ref, he sees a player running out of bounds and he unnecessarily, ball is out of play, the player's out of bounds, shoulders him into the wall aggressively. And I don't know if that's necessarily a foul in regular play, but if you've been warned multiple times and cautioned with a yellow card, that's a definite second yellow card. What are you thinking? Unless you're thinking about golf.
Maybe your theory's starting to hold up. I mean, there was absolutely no reason LGP should have shoved this guy into the wall. Like, there was no reason for it whatsoever, let alone without any cards. But this guy was on a yellow and had been warned once. It seemed like maybe he took some sort of side bet. Maybe he does just love golf. It looked like he was trying to get sent off. So, LGP, come on, man.
Yeah, and he gets sent off, and now we're pitted against an 11-man team in the cold on the road. That is not a good sign for any MLS team. And time again, we saw it last year a couple times. We were in that same situation and we could not come away with anything. We lost our cool and we lost the game. But we were able to hold on. We stuck down, held tight on our defense. Chris McCann, a guy you were not expecting in the starting lineup at the beginning of last week, came in and played one heck of a game. Have you changed your opinion on him?
Not as a left wing, which I so famously last week punched the microphone in frustration at the fact of you suggesting he play left wing. But that makes so much sense now. I mean, center back, that's perfect for the guy. He's slow, but
he's tall.
He's tall and he's strong enough to park a bus in a game like this. Because that's what we did. We parked the bus. We parked a MARTA bus straight in front of Minnesota's goal. And Brad...
That's the farthest the MARTA line's ever gone.
Brad drove the bus. The goose, the wall, drove the bus, and McCann was a huge part of it. I think he's going to be back at center back this week, honestly. But like I said, we'll get to that more later.
Yeah, and McCann got player of the game. You mentioned Brad Guzan. I thought he was my player of the game, mainly because of the two big saves he had down the stretch. Not taking anything away from McCann. And Parkhurst, another vital player, and he is my most valuable player on our team. He organizes the team so well at the back. I don't think we can go a game without him. And now that I see McCann as a close replacement to LGP, just based off that very small sample size of one game where he played great, if he can do that again, I'm fine with him playing next game. Who was your MVP of the game?
I think I got to go with Parkhurst for me personally because, again, McCann had a great game. I think the reason McCann got voted player of the game was because everyone was so surprised by his performance. But I think Parkhurst was the most consistent guy. He organized the defense. He was listening to Brad all night, playing in that 3 at the back role, and then we lose LGP. So it's like an even more scattered 3 at the back, which we can talk about a little bit about substitutions that came in. Zizzo, the much maligned player from preseason that we didn't even want to talk about because he was so bad, came in and put in a heck of a shift. He played a heck of a game in the minutes he got. And AWO, Andrew Wheeler-Amino, came in and played great as well. What
a big surprise. He did not make the 50-man roster when they first put it out there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's there in the 23, made the 18, and he got his first MLS minutes. And everyone loved him in preseason, and now he comes in, and he had a couple good plays there. It was almost shaky, then he made a great clear, and he's going to be a very key player off the bench in this next game, I'm predicting.
Yeah, and I am incredibly proud of our guys. I don't say that after every game we play, but I was incredibly proud of our team this week. I was incredibly proud of how they handled adversity. You can't just go into a hostile environment in the freezing cold and down a man for 75% of the game and come out with a win commonly in the MLS.
3 points.
That is 3 points, just like the other 3 points we've gotten this year. It counts just the same at the end of the season. It is crucial that we picked up this win. Couldn't have been more proud of our team. Let's roll on to next week and hopefully get back to the warmer Mercedes Benz.
We can get out of the cold, come back home, and grab a cold one just in time for a beer. Beer of the week!
Every week.
That's right, Blake. And we got a good one for you this week. unseasonal lager
Kind of like that cold in Minnesota.
by Arches.
It's not always that cold in April. That would be very unseasonal.
And I'm going to go ahead and grab my spike,
Here we
my
go.
golden spike.
It's actually my spike.
It's
Let's just go ahead and tell our audience what's going on. I mean, I'll let them know. You forgot your spike this week.
I didn't forget my spike.
That's my spike. I also have a spike.
You do have a golden spike.
It is still the golden spike of Atlanta. But
yes.
and it's the same one that I actually passed through the portal to Joe while he was in Houston. Way back. I believe that was episode 3.
Yeah, and I just held on to it
Yeah.
through the portal.
Well, so he lost his spike temporarily, obviously, because you can't lose the golden spike. But yeah, he's got mine this week. So be gentle, please, Joe.
I'll be gentle. And if you don't know, I hammer in a beer every week with my golden spike. And anytime I have a can, I hammer in the beer with the spike. And it goes a little bit like this. Blake, you going to have a little
Yeah, I'm ready.
chant with me?
I'm ready. I'm always ready, man.
ATL.
Oh,
And that's how you do it.
well done, ATL Joe.
Let's get a little sip of this unseasonal lager.
Yeah, I'm diving right in. Oh man, that's good beer. So this is from Arches Brewing, in Hapeville, Georgia, pretty close to the airport. This is probably their most popular beer. This is a year-round lager.
Almost kind of like a brown lager, maybe like a little hint of caramel taste.
Yeah, it's they say that it's American grain bill that's treated with what they call old world techniques. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds awesome. And it does have, a light enough taste for summer, but then it's also like strong enough. I feel like I could drink this in the Minnesota cold. It's not like just a summer lager. You know what I mean? Like
You
if
can
it's
drink
1
it-
degree in Minnesota, I feel like I could have an unseasonal and really enjoy myself.
And if it's 99 degrees in Atlanta, you can go drink it by the pool.
Yeah. And I believe it says, based on the description, it's noble hops. So it brings that kind of mild, spicy bitterness. It's not overpowering with the hops, and hops in a lager is always awesome to see. So this is a tasty beer. You guys should pick one up if you get a chance to go by Arches. But Joe, we got to keep rolling. Let's talk about what's really on everyone's mind this Friday. LAFC, brand new team, a lot of excitement. I know they just suffered their first loss, but they're coming to the Benz. What do you think?
Big game. We got two high-powered offenses going against each other. LAFC has bust out of the gates, coming on strong. They run down the wings fast. They got a great center attacking mid and Carlos Vela, a guy who's been a star of Mexico for years to come, and now he's in the MLS, and he's taken to it like he's a seasoned veteran. They put together a really good team on short notice, and it's very much like Atlanta United, as they don't have much depth, but they put a lot of high-powered offensive players and then put some seasoned veterans in the back line. And then their goalie, Luis, I don't even know who this guy is. He came out of nowhere.
I mean, I could answer that for you. Luis Lopez,
Yeah,
I
but
believe you're referring to. He's actually been, since I am the injury report guy, he's actually out for this game. He has a tibial stress fracture. So it looks like Tyler Miller is actually going to start in goal for LAFC.
big news.
Yeah, so
it in
he
there,
has
Blake.
he has been a stud so far, but it looks like Lopez will be on the bench.
I wouldn't necessarily say a
for this
stud.
game.
Did he get injured when he tried to track back to stop Zlatan's goal?
I don't know who was in goal for that goal. I really don't. But that was one of the most, if not the most fantastic goal in MLS history. I mean, that was
No.
absurd.
It was not the most fantastic goal in MLS history. Did you not see last year?
Are you talking about Tito the Lion Tamer?
The lion tamer, when he tamed the lion for the first time.
That was a fantastic goal.
There was a lion in his face, and he put him to sleep with one strike of the ball. The lion just fell asleep.
I'm saying from a non-biased sense in the league's history, that goal by Zlatan, taking that volley from pretty much the halfway line to tie the game up, that was fantastic. And no hate to Tito, because that was my favorite goal in my history of watching the MLS. But that was Zlatan's goal was unbelievable.
But in the goalie's defense, he was way out of position.
That's true. That's very true. So, going over LAFC, the only other person they have on their injury report right now is Omar. I believe you say his last name is Gaber. He is, a defender / a midfielder, not a really relevant player for them. So
Omar who?
Gaber is his last
Exactly.
name. Yeah, we're not really worried about their injuries in terms of how it's going to affect our game. I think what we need to be worried about is how we're going to line up this game, Joe. I think going into LAFC, their strength is definitely attacking. So you talked about it earlier, Carlos Vela. He had 2 incredible goals the last game. My favorite player coming out of LAFC right now is a kid named Latif Blessing. He's 21 years old. He's a Ghana international, and this guy is fast. I'm telling you, he is fast. Who was the kid we were watching for Vancouver that you called the Canadian Carlton?
The Canadian Carlton, Alphonso Davies.
Alphonso Davies. Remember how fast Alphonso Davies was?
Yeah, and he tore us up on that left side.
And if they had him been down a man, I feel like he would have been a lot more dangerous. But, Latif Blessing is just as quick. I watched the entire game that they played against LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
And this guy is just flying down the wing. And that does scare me, considering our center backs this week might be a combination of McCann and Zizzo. So, I'm a little bit nervous about his speed.
Where did he come from?
Latif Blessing, he played actually Sporting Kansas City last year, made 31 appearances. I don't keep up a lot with Sporting Kansas City. So Sporting KC, I wasn't really following them. He only had 6 goals last year. A lot of assists, though. He's got 1 goal this year. I just think he's a creator.
6 goals is great from a winger.
Yeah.
We got lucky with Vijalba, and both our wingers last year, Assad put in double digits. Assad was close to double digits, but winger 6 goals is a solid stat point.
I would say so. And the thing about I guess Blessing is he's gonna cause a lot of chaos on the wing. I'd say that's kind of our weakest spot right now. You also got Diego Rossi, who's 18 years old and is a stud, and he's kind of like following this new MLS, 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, the new MLS, where he's a guy that is going to go on to Europe. He is like Miguel Almiron.
Yeah.
He is from Uruguay, and he's not 18. He's only 20 years old. He's still very, very young.
But he's a prospect of Uruguayan's national team.
Yeah, he's born 8 years after me. So I'm always like, okay, this guy's really young, but I guess he's already 20 years old. Rossi, he is honestly probably their biggest threat besides Carlos Vela. Vela's still in his prime too at 29. So I just feel like this is a dangerous front three.
Yeah, Rossi had 3 goals, 3 assists already in MLS, and he's one of the first, maybe second player to ever do that in his first 3 games with a team in the MLS. He's coming in and lighting it up as just a young kid. So they do have a potent attack, and we've got a potent attack. And now we're going to Mercedes Benz Stadium. It's going to be a very exciting game. We have scored so many goals. I would like to look up the stat. Maybe we'll get it to you next week after we score a bunch this week of how many goals we've scored since we moved into Mercedes Benz. It seems like every week I go to a game there, we put up 3.
Yeah.
And now we got a LA team that is very capable of putting up 3 themselves. Do you think that it's going to be a high-scoring game?
I don't know. I think we should ask Tata, and I think it's time for Tata's tactics. Okay, Joe.
It's a great time for Tata's tactics.
Give me your lineup this week. I just want to know what you're thinking, and then I'll let you know kind of what I'm thinking based on injury report and based on what I'm seeing.
This is a really tough call. We've got a bunch of injuries, and it's a head scratcher. I don't know if we're going to go back to a 4-3-3 or stay in that 3-5-2. I'm just going to start from the top and work my way down because I know what we got.
Okay.
Joseph's starting up there at the top, number 9 spot.
Without a doubt. Hey, wait, did you just mention Joseph? Because I think it's time for another Joseph Martinez.
Hair watch.
I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't initially plan to hit a hair watch this week, but there's just some stuff that you can't just pass over.
That's okay. You can interrupt me anytime that there's a hair watch.
Joe, this was out of the blue. And you know, based on all the research and data that I've collected, how crucial it is for Joseph to stay blonde, just for his goal scoring record alone. He's much more proficient in front of goal as a blonde. We've proven this over and over again. He started off this year hot. What's his hairstyle been?
It's been a blonde high top.
So, okay, I'm just browsing social media the other day. All of a sudden, it's an abomination.
What?
It's terrible.
You don't like it?
Joseph has gone gray.
Silver. It's like a silver fox. Got that mohawk shining out.
No.
He's taming it down a little more. See his natural hair color behind it.
Joseph, I love you. You are a fantastic player. I am very, very concerned about this hairstyle.
I'm not concerned. The only thing I'm concerned with this hairstyle is the fact that he couldn't keep his high top standing up the entire game. By the kickoff, it was already down into his face. How do you expect him to keep a mohawk up all game if he can't even have the right gel to keep his hair up?
Well, hopefully he's got some new gel. Also, to just back up what I'm saying, and in your defense of Joseph, that's fine. But even one of our favorite players, one of our stars, Miguel Almiron, Miggy smiles.
The Migster.
Responds to Joseph. And Joseph, puts a picture up of himself on Instagram like he always does. And Miggy says, un abuelito, or abuelito. Again, we've been working on our Spanish. I think I said that right. It means grandpa.
Ouch. Like old man Joseph.
Miggy doesn't approve either. Miggy and I are on the same wavelength here. Why would you go from goal-scoring blonde to grandpa? I mean, why? Why, Joseph?
Well, Blake,
we were in great form. He just had a hat trick 2 games ago.
Yeah, but he didn't score this game, and his goal streak was snapped. Blake, give it some time. You're already counting this hairstyle out.
You're right. At least he did not go back to the periwinkle.
There's no Cisco hairstyle that gave him no goals.
I see no purple in this. This looks like a straight gray. I mean, maybe this is a new thing. Maybe this is what, young people are going to do these days. Maybe gray becomes the young thing, and then when you get older, you start dyeing your hair blonde. I don't know. Maybe Joseph, he's a Renaissance man.
Let's see how many goals he gets with this hairstyle. I think it's called like the silver fox hawk. What do you want to call this hairstyle?
I'm going to call it the grandpa hawk.
All right.
Or the grand pock. Just to shorten it up.
Well, back to Tata's tactics.
Yeah, so Joseph's starting at striker. Back
Joseph,
to that.
I bet we both can agree that he's starting at striker.
Yes, I'll agree with you on that. 100%.
All right. And then on the right side, Tito Villalba, I'm undecided if he's going to be a secondary striker or a right winger.
Because we've been playing him as a secondary striker in that 3-5-2.
Yes, and I think it's really opened him up. And now that you say that, I'm just going to go on the fly. I'm saying I'm going to keep him as a secondary striker.
Okay.
Keep Miguel Almiron as that center on the left side striker where he has so much space to work with.
Okay.
I'm going to keep WrestleMania on that right side where he's playing the right wing back and Garza on the left side, left wing back where they're making so much space. And keep Larry and Darlington Nagbe in the middle where they've been playing such good defensive midfield. And that chemistry has been so amazing. Really, the only issues is that back line. And Michael Parkhurst, as I mentioned earlier, I think he is our MVP. He is our most valuable player. He's not our best player on the team, but he's the most valuable to the entire team. He's that center back piece, and you just got to find 2 people to his left and right. And I'm going to go throw McCann in there, who had a great game. And then the only one left who came in last game, and Tata likes to stick with people he's already played, is Saul Zizzo. And I'm going to put Saul Zizzo on my right side.
Gulp.
Did I just take your lineup?
No, I'm just terrified. I'm absolutely terrified, Joe.
Well, I didn't mention the keeper. Hold on. We're gonna start. He's big. He's tall. He's a
wall.
He's a wall. Brad Guzan.
All right.
That way you don't have to gulp anymore. Another save of the week, another save of the month, save of the year coming up this game.
Joe,
Brad Guzan special.
I'm so with you in so many ways about the starting lineup. I do think that we stick with the 3-5-2. I don't know if Garza is going to be ready. I really don't. And I think this might be another Carlton game that he could get some minutes. I don't know what his status is. I don't feel good about Garza with his shoulder.
Okay.
I definitely don't feel good about a back line that includes two center backs of people that really don't play center back normally. I mean, Zizzo we brought in as a right back, not necessarily a center back. And then McCann, until last game, has never been a center back at any level of soccer his entire life.
I think you're wrong in that statement. I think he has played center back when he played in the second division of the English League, the English Championship League. He's played center back before. Maybe as spot starts, but he's been a center defensive mid and a center back pairing.
Maybe that's true. I know that we initially brought him in as kind of a left-sided midfielder. And then he was converted to left back when we had the Garza injury last year. He definitely has never played center back until this game for us.
Yes, you're right.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch a lot of his time at the championship level. I know he was with Burnley most recently, before that Wigan Athletic. So, I'm concerned because I don't think that any of these guys have the pace to keep up with the youth that LAFC has. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, Blessing is quick as lightning.
Yeah.
Vela is this 20-year-old striker that is going to be a future superstar for Uruguay. And then, we got McCann and Zizzo chasing him. It just scares me. I know we predicted a high-scoring game.
They're not going to be chasing him in that 3-5-2 if they're in that formation. They're already going to be on the back line. They don't need to be tracking that far up back because they won't be that far up the field.
So let me ask you this. If Garza can't go, who do we put at that left wing back spot? Or do we go back to a 4-3-3?
If Garza can't go, I am changing my lineup. And unfortunately... Actually, I was about to say, unfortunately, we put Larry back at center defensive mid. But no, we keep him in his solid spot. We shift McCann as the center back. And we bring in Andrew Wheeler-Aminu, put him on the left side where he came in as a sub. And so we got Wheeler on one side. We got Zizzo on the right side. And that's your four in the back.
I mean, I think that's very possible. I think we're forgetting about a few guys that could jump in there. Again, I'm not someone to say, okay, Tata's going to mix it up a lot. I'm just saying he does have options. Don't forget about Ambrose, who's the left back. We could always throw Ambrose in there.
He was at the Braves game this week when Joseph threw out his first pitch. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
seeing
so
them
honestly,
both there.
where we're at right now, Ambrose would be the guy I throw in. I'd like to see Carlton, but again, I don't think Carlton's really able to play that left wing back role.
Carlton's not going to start.
So I think it's probably McCann, Parkey, Zizzo on your back line.
And then one guy you're forgetting about, I saw him at practice this week. He's been training a lot, is Miles Robinson.
That's true. He could get a start at center back. I don't think he's quite ready.
I think he'll make the bench though, because we're bleeding at depth at the defensive side. So I think you're going to see Miles Robinson, Wheeler-Aminu, if he doesn't start, he's going to be on the bench. Mikey Ambrose. I think all the defensive players are going to be thrown on the bench this week with the lack of depth we got there and give as many options as we can get.
Yeah. I mean, the only other idea that I have is that we could switch back to a 4-3-3. We could put, Gressel at right back, Parkey and McCann in the center, Ambrose on the left, and then, start Carlton and Tito on the wing, and then keep the midfield three of Larry, Nagby, and Almiron. But that would require Gressel moving a little bit into a further defensive role, putting Ambrose at his natural position, and dropping, Zizzo off the team. So we'll see what happens.
That's kind of a scary lineup. Not a bad idea. I like where your mind's going there. And, even if Gressel gets thrown back further in a defensive role with Tata's tactical formation that he's always had, if he's on the wing, he's going to push up the field regardless of where he starts the game.
Yeah, because he's Gresselmania.
Gresselmania! What you haven't seen, I've been wearing that hat. You remember that hat that I wore to the games?
It's a great hat.
Yeah, Phantom Maniacs made us some awesome gray with a red bill hat with Gresselmania symbol right in the middle. You guys should check it out. PhantomManiacs.com's got a great picture of it. You can buy them for, I don't know, what is it, $20?
I don't remember, but we'll have a great Gresselmania flag flying on Saturday. If you guys see a Gresselmania flag, it's probably either Joe or I or Britt or Ben, our producer. So if you guys see the WrestleMania flag flying, I know we got an extra that we're trying to unload. If anyone's interested in purchasing one, it's gonna be flying high. It's gonna be flying proud. It's a sweet flag. I'm not just trying to promote it. It's a really cool flag.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a great tailgate scene. We got the Gulch happening. I think they open up at noon. The game is at 5 p.m. this Saturday. It's going to be hyped. We haven't been home in a while. We had a break, then we had a cold game, and now we're back in the Mercedes Benz.
Have you gotten a weather report, Joe, for Saturday at all?
The last I checked, which was 2 days ago, it was supposed to be around 50 degrees. There shouldn't be any rain in the sky, but it's tailgate season, and so far my experience is Atlanta United tailgates typically have rain.
So, yeah, I actually just looked at it today, and it looks like 100% precipitation chance.
See, just like that. I predicted the weather just based on Atlanta United tailgating.
18-mile-an-hour winds. So, WrestleMania will be flying at a nice speed.
And so will everybody's tent. Make sure you stake them down into the concrete.
I think 60 degrees is the high. So it should be another fun, and we play great when it rains. So I'm not worried about our team's performance. But it should be another fun, rainy Atlanta United tailgate.
It's going to be a fun, rainy game while we're inside a dome and we don't get any rain on top of us.
Yeah, that's because the roof won't open because it's broken.
It opens like once a year. And then it goes into hibernation mode, and the sphincter closes.
Yeah.
And then he's constipated for the rest of the year.
It's a very constipated roof.
So that's about the summary of Mercedes-Benz sphincter muscle.
Which, we'll get back. Maybe in time and with, lots of fiber, we can get the roof open a few more times this year.
But it's going to be, I want to get a prediction of the score. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. What do you got? Give me your prediction.
I'm going to go conservative. I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, I think what we have at defense this week doesn't cut it. I think we're going to get some goals, but we're not going to keep them out. Not with their attack. They're a strong team.
I went strong last week. I think, what did I say, 5-1, 6-1, something like that?
Yeah, you got really aggressive.
I got really excited, and then all of a sudden it was 1-0. So I don't care. I'm still very hyped, and we're back in Mercedes-Benz where I think we're averaging 3.5 goals per game. So I'm going to go right around that average, but I'm going to go under the half. We're going to get 3. And I don't think LAFC is going to put 3 on against us. But I do think they're going to score, and it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be 3-2. And it's going to come down to the final save. Brad Guzan is going to punch it over the goal. He's going to get save of the month again, and it's going to be save of the year. Atlanta United wins 3-2.
There's a big game for us, Joe. This is live on ESPN. ESPN 1, not ESPN 2, not ESPN 3, not ESPN the Ocho.
The ESPN.
This is the ESPN, even though no one has cable anymore. But you can watch it on your phone or whatever. It's an exciting game. Pretty much prime time. Mercedes Benz. I couldn't be more excited.
It's perfect.
Let's get out in the Gulch, man. I can't wait. I don't care if it's pouring down rain, cold, blowing wind. I mean, I can still crush some beers of the week.
Beers of the week. And we're going to bring some of these unseasonal lager by Arches. I want to hammer them in at the tailgate if you guys want to hammer some down with me. Because it's so much fun to get drinking, get going to the game, get rowdy, get proud, and be back with my Atlanta United family. All the ATLiens coming to one spot to support their soccer team. It's a beautiful thing. You guys, hit us up. We love you. We love all of you. We're all one big family. Go Atlanta. Hit us up on ATLiens ATLiensUnited@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, ATLiens. At ATLiens.
Social media.
Yeah, Facebook. We got a little web page.
Ta-da.
And Instagram. We're big on the Instagram. Taking pictures.
Insta tag us. No, that's not what you do on Instagram. No, you can tag people on Instagram, right?
Yeah, and little hearts up. Little double tap heart.
One word of caution. I wouldn't really, if you're at the tailgate, let Joe open your beer with the spike. I mean, watch him do it. It's hilarious, but half your beer is going to be on the ground. So just be careful with that.
One second, big ball. We ready, need everybody inbound.